This is the gutter guard. It just sounds like such an unattractive name for this project. But it is a gutter guard that we're using from Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart. It's an actual plastic gutter guard. Fall swag. You can make a Halloween swag. You can make a Christmas swag. All this is just a piece of plastic with holes that you can put your pipe cleaners through, and you can make a swag. Marlene says, I don't have a microphone on this computer. This is the first for me. Okay. Well, as long as you can see and hear me, Marlene, that's fine. It might be a good idea to try to use a different device next time. You could even use your phone. That way you can ask questions out loud. That's the main reason why I do classes this way instead of doing Facebook Lives, because that way you can ask your questions out loud. You don't have to type them out. It might take me a minute or two to see your chat question because I'm busy doing what I have to do, but we'll get it figured out. So let me go ahead and let's get started. I'm going to go back to my other camera setup. I know with the wood chat, which I am going to be getting the wood chat out to you guys tomorrow. I'm so sorry for the delay. I've just been so busy. Actually now really busy with getting the kits together that you guys have been waiting for, the wreath kits. And I want to do another wood chat video too. I wasn't really happy with the way, I'm happy with the way mine came out. I don't want to say that, but I feel like I may have put too much mesh on it. And I want to do another one anyway. I want to do a Christmas one. So you guys are going to be getting a 2-for-1. You're going to be getting the, why is that crooked? You're going to be getting the Halloween one that I did, and I'm going to be doing a pre-recorded tutorial with a Christmas one. Maybe I'll even do a Facebook Live. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Hi, Jamie. I haven't done anything to my gutter guard yet because I want to show you guys how to get it ready. This is from Lowe's. You can see. You can also see that it comes with this kind of weird screen thing on it. You see that? You can pull that right off because we're not going to be able to use this with the screen on it because we need to be able to get to the holes. But let's not do that yet. This is actually pretty long. This is 36 inches long. Now, if you've ever made a swag before, typically you use a rail form. Now, I don't have a rail form handy, but I have used them before. If you go on Craft Outlet or go on any of the online craft supply websites and you type in rail work form, it's going to show you what looks like a little metal ladder, and it's got pipe cleaners on it. And those are typically 22 inches long. So there's a couple of things you can do. These are so cheap anyway, what was maybe a couple of dollars. If you plan on making several of these and you want to make the most of the most use out of these and you don't want to waste any, you can just cut it right in half. And that way you'll get what's half here? 18-inch. So this will be your half point, okay? And this is 18 inches and this is 18 inches. So you can get 2 18-inch forms. It's going to be a little bit shorter than if you were to use a rail form, but 3 inches. It's not going to be that much. So, or if you just want to go ahead and you want to make it the 22 inches, you're just going to cut it right around here. But again, you can make 2 out of this. So I think what we're going to do, first of all, rip this stuff off. It comes off very easily. I haven't done mine yet. Just rip it off and get it off of there. I don't know if this side's going to rip off. Yeah, it comes right off. I didn't want to do anything to mine until I got on camera with you guys. And here's a little sticker here. We could take that off too, but I don't think it's really going to matter. It's just a little sticker. It's not going to be seen. I don't think it's really going to get in the way. But we'll pull it off anyway. I'll pull most of it off. This little lip on the side, I don't really think you're going to have to worry about it. Hold on a second here. Let me pull these off. Get as much of this little sticker off as you can. I'm not quite sure where you guys all bought yours. Like I said, I got mine at Lowe's. think it's good enough. Again, there's this little lip here. You're not going to have to worry about that because it's going to be covered anyway. I just hope my scissors can cut through that. So let's give it a try. I'm going to cut mine right down the middle. So I'm going to have two 18-inch pieces in case I ever want to make another one. So try to get some heavy-duty scissors. These are my craft scissors. And so far it's cutting through, but I'm worried about this here. I might have to use my snippers for that. Just kind of gradually snip through it. It's not going to be, doesn't have to be pretty. Or if you want to just cut this off, you know, that might even be easier. Let's do that. Instead of trying to cut through the heavy piece of plastic, let's just cut it right off. How's that? You can actually make a base for swag out of a lot of things. I saw a tutorial once where someone took the baskets, the little baskets from the Dollar Tree, the little storage baskets that have the holes in, little plastic storage baskets, and they cut one apart and they kind of pieced it together and zipped it with zip ties, tied it together with zip ties, and made a base for their swag. So as long as you've got something that's relatively sturdy and has holes in it that you can put pipe cleaners through, yeah, that's it. So you're not going to be able to cut through this with the scissors. So just cut right around it. I'm just going to finish getting rid of it, and I'll just make my second one here. I had a little bit of a crazy day today. I had to have my son bring me out to New Hartford, which is about a half an hour away. That's pretty much where all the stores are, because my little town doesn't really have anything. And I had to get a box to ship my wreath in for my customer. And his belt, one of his belts in his car started making noise, and he got all freaked out, and he didn't want to drive anywhere. He didn't want to leave until we sort of figured out what it was. So this looks kind of tiny, but you know what? It's going to be fine. And it's flimsy, but we're putting mesh on it, so it really doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be really sturdy. Okay, let's find some pipe cleaners. If you want to make yours 36 inches long, you're more than welcome to do that. You don't have to cut it in half. But when you add the mesh and everything, it's going to be a lot fluffier. Hey, Mimi. Who else has joined us? Hey, Kathy, you're able to get on. Can you hear me, Kathy? I just noticed that you were here. If you can see me and you can hear me, that's the most important thing. If you are speaking and I can't hear you, it's probably because you have to give Zoom permission to access your microphone. I can see you. I just looked up, I can see you on the video. Are you speaking? Can you say something so I can see if I can hear you?
Hi.
I can hear you. Let me turn my volume up here.
I lost the picture.
You lost my picture?
Yeah. I'm still looking.
What do you see now?
I see nothing. It's just like contacts meeting notification.
Why don't you go out and come back in again and try that?
All right.
Leave and come back. Usually, sometimes the first time being in Zoom is a little challenging, but well, if we have to do a test meeting, just you and me, we can do that. We can get it figured out. That's really easy to do.
Okay.
So if you want to go out and come back in again, just close it out and come back in again. Honey, I just can't stop class to help you. That's the only problem. You know? Okay.
I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to be able to see me. Can you see me?
No, because I lost it. I did see you.
Okay, like I said, just close it out. So just exit, just close the window out, exit out, and come back in again. Click on that link again.
All right.
Okay?
It's not coming up good. Okay.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, I can hear you at least.
Well, you need to be able to see me, so I would just exit out and come back in again. and see if that works.
Okay, there, I got
All right,
it.
honey?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is when you're making a wreath, you usually space your pipe cleaners about 4 inches apart. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm actually going to start on the end here and just start, you know, just put your pipe cleaner through the little holes. Start on the end. And I have orange because I hope it'll match, but we'll see. Start tying your pipe cleaners in. The nice thing about this is they're not going to slide. That's always a pain in the neck when your pipe cleaner slides. So I think, let me see here. This is not very wide. It's going to be about 4 inches. This is about, you know, if you go from the first set of holes to the last, it's about 4.5 inches. I think that's going to work out. So I'm just going to go ahead. You kind of just have to eyeball it. I'm going to just keep putting 2 across. Why did Leah send me something? Leah McIntosh just sent me something. I haven't heard from her in a while. So then we're going to do 4 inches up to the next one, so approximately. So just kind of, I'm going right on the end hole here, the very end, if you can see that, the end, but I went up 4 inches from this one that I put here. Just go up right through your little diamond shapes. Just keep going across, right over to the next side. I think I'm going to pull my chair up here. My back has been bothering me lately, so I wonder if Kathy got back on again. Kathy, you're back on again. I have you muted though, honey. Let me unmute you. Hold on. I usually mute everybody at the beginning of the class just to kind of cut down on background noise. Can you see me now, Kathy?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yep, I'm here.
Can you hear? You don't have to have your video on. That's not a requirement. As long as you can see me and I can hear you and you can hear me, that's the most important thing. Is the video back? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. See, sometimes that's all you have to do is just log out and come back in again. I'm just pulling my chair around here so I can sit while I'm putting my pipe cleaners on here.
Okay, it is just new for me.
What's that?
It's just new. I'll get.
No, of course. No, everybody has some challenges in the beginning for their first class. But listen, what I want you to do, what are you using? Are you using a laptop or your phone, or what are you using?
I got my phone right at the moment.
Okay. What you want to do, because like I said, I mute everybody at the beginning of class just to kind of cut down on background noise. So it's important that you know where your unmute button is in case you have a question. So tap on your screen and then you should have your controls come up. It'll say video, start and stop video, mute, unmute. Do you see that?
I see audio, video, share.
Yeah, so just, is there a mute or unmute button or no?
No.
Hey, Joanne. Do you see that?
Is that better?
Okay, you just started your video, but what I'm trying to ask you is, or tell you is, when I mute everybody, you're going to want to know how to unmute yourself in case you have a question. So do you see like a mute or an unmute button? There you go. You just muted yourself. Okay. So hit that again to unmute yourself.
Okay.
There you go. So when I mute you and you have a question, just hit that again and just say, Christina, I have a question or whatever, you know, just get my attention. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And Emily's here. Hi, Emily. I'm going to mute
Hello.
everybody again. How you doing, Miss Emily?
I'm doing okay, I think.
You think? You're not sure? I know. That's how I feel half the time. All right. I'm going to
Half
mute
the
everybody.
time.
I'm going to mute everybody again. You let me know if you have a question, okay? All right. Let me sit here. We need to have some daytime classes, ladies, because you know what? I get tired at night. And I think I just start to poop out around 7 o'clock. Whoops, I just put my screen too big. There we go. Let me fix that. Okay. So I'm not really quite sure how many pipe cleaners this is going to take. I'm just kind of adding them, and if we need more, we'll add more. Because honestly, I've never done a swag on a gutter guard before, but I mean, how difficult can it be? You've got holes, you're going to put pipe cleaners in, and you're going to attach your mesh. So all I really just did here was I went up 4 inches from my last pipe cleaner. I think I want to move this one over a little bit. So you kind of want them to be about 4 inches apart, which is when you're adding pipe cleaners to a wreath form to make a wreath, that's about how far apart your pipe cleaners are. And we're going to be doing 2 15-inch pieces of mesh per pipe cleaner. So I think we're going to be good as far as coverage. Let's see here. I want to go right here. This little tiny piece of plastic is going to make a pretty swag. I might even add another pipe cleaner in the middle here. I'm not sure yet. I have to see. And I have to see how it looks when you start adding all stuff. See what happens? See what happens on live TV? I hope you guys are still there. I hope I didn't lose you. Hold on a minute here. Oh, good Lord. Give me a second. I apologize, ladies. If you could see my setup here, you would know how sometimes this happens. Hold on. I'm here. What the heck happened? Hold on, let me fix my camera. Oh my gosh. I'm here, I promise. Kathy, this is what happens sometimes. We have technical difficulties, and my laptop fell over and it pulled my camera down with it. There we go. All is good. Move this over here. I need a bigger craft table. That's really what I need. That's the problem. I need to go invest in a bigger table. I really wish, and I know this sounds mean, I really wish my daughter would move out because she's got the big bedroom up front, and I would love to turn that into my craft room. I love my daughter, but it's time for her to, she's 24, it's time for her to find her own place so I can have her big room. Okay, let's get back to what we're doing. All right, 4 inches. Give or take. I'm going to put it right here. You may think these are too close together, but they're going to be fine. Vanya's here. Hi, Vanya. I'm trying to look up to see who else is joined that I haven't greeted yet. I was actually going to stop at Hobby Lobby today, but my son was so upset about this noise his car was making that he didn't want to stop anywhere. I wasn't going to ask him. My car died. Now that worked out just perfectly. We're going to be right to the end here. So every 4 inches is bringing us right to the end, or almost to the end. And we're going to add our mesh, and then we're going to see where we're at. And if I feel like I need to add another pipe cleaner, we'll add another pipe cleaner. You can actually make swags out of coat hangers too. We did that before. We did a coat hanger class. Mimi, you did that one, didn't you? we did it, you can actually take a coat hanger, a wire coat hanger, and you can shape that and add mesh.
Yes,
Yeah.
I made 2 of them.
Yours were gorgeous.
Well, they were okay.
No, they were gorgeous. Okay, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 12 pipe cleaners on here. I'm trying to remember how much is on a rail swag. I wish I had a rail swag here to show you, or a rail form. All right. Now, I had this beautiful mesh that I cut, and you probably saw my picture. As I'm cutting, I just throw it on the floor, and that's where it ends up. And this mesh, actually, I got, isn't it so pretty? I got this from a D-stash site. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with D-stash sites, there's a few of them on Facebook. Be careful, though, because the goal or the purpose of a D-stash site is just what it is. People are getting rid of their stash. They have too much mesh, they have too much ribbon. They're getting rid of it. They're supposed to just sell it for what they paid for it and then charge shipping. Some of the sites have turned into, let's just go out and buy stuff and resell it for a profit. And I try to stay away from those. Wreath and Craft Supply D-Stash is a nice one, but just again, be careful. Because some people are gonna try to overcharge you. I've seen people buy Dollar Tree mesh and sell it for $3 a roll, and that's just ridiculous. But this I did get from someone that had posted it on Wreath and Craft Supply D-Stash. That's the name of the group on Facebook. I think it came, the label said Old Time Pottery, and we don't have any up here in upstate New York. I wish we did because they have really beautiful stuff. There's another one, if you're in the group Wreath Creators and More, they have a D-Stash site as well. So that's where this came from. Now I have 2 rolls of that. It's 10-inch mesh that I cut into 15-inch pieces. And just for the heck of it, I also cut another roll of sort of like this goldish orange. And this came from Dollar General, believe it or not. I don't know if they have this color this year. This was left over from last year, but it's gorgeous. I mean, I can't believe I got it at Dollar General. It was $5. So I may just use this 2 per tie, but I was thinking I might want to add a different color in, but you know, I might not have to, but I just cut it just in case. And I also have some ribbon. You're not going to want to put a ton of ribbon on this because it's not very big. And I picked up this cute little sign today, believe it or not, from Marshall's. And I thought it's a nice little sign. And once I get my mesh on, I think it'll look really cute on there. And believe it or not, Marshall's also had a bunch of, I grabbed this bag of stuff, which is what I call it. And there's these huge pine cones in here. But if there's also little pumpkins, and I like these little balls that were in here too. This came from Marshall's, and I just grabbed it because I thought it was cute. I got these 2 that I thought were really cute at Dollar General, and they're little pumpkin floral clips. They're little flowers with pumpkins in the middle. And I thought those were just adorable. Those were $1 a piece at Dollar General. So get over to Dollar General because they have some cute stuff this year. And I think these came from Dollar General as well. They have little bags of like gourds, little pine cones, little pumpkins. These were $3 a piece. So you can't, you know, I love my Dollar General. So that's sort of some stuff that I was thinking about putting in there. I have some leaves, you know, but let's just start putting our mesh on. I actually got this too. I got this from Hobby Lobby a few months ago. This is a little bit smaller. Maybe I'll put that on there. I got to see what's going to look better, the sign or that. And I wanted to show you guys too, in fact, I meant to post this in the group and I forgot. If you're going to be doing the Jack Skellington wreath, I got this today. This came from the Wreath Shop. It's 21-inch mesh, black and white. I think Craft Outlet also carries it. That's going to be perfect. And I think I'm going to use this with it. There goes my laptop again. I just can't get this to sit up and stay. Hold on, let me move this down a little bit. There we go. I think I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to put I'll do the poof ruffle with this, or I might just do the poof, I'm not sure yet. And then I'm gonna do this with it. I think that would be nice. Or maybe I'll do a solid purple, I'm not sure yet, but this also came from the Wreath Shop. If you've never shopped at the Wreath Shop, they're awesome. They're in California, but their shipping is not bad, and they're really, really fast. Like I noticed that, hey Jackie, I noticed that when I shop at Craft Outlet, and it's really strange because it's $69 to get free shipping and it's fast. But if you don't want to spend that much and you pay for shipping, it's slow. It's like really slow. But the Wreath Shop is fast. All right, I'll stop talking. I like to show you guys my stuff. I get excited. So this is the 15-inch piece of mesh. So all we're going to do is, and I'm sure you've seen me do ruffles before. If you haven't seen me do a ruffle, Kathy, I don't know if you've done ruffle wreaths before, how often you've made wreaths if this is your first time. But what I like to do is I start at the top and I just fold it over a little bit, just so my cut end is not showing, okay? You can even start at the bottom. I don't know why I did it that way, but just fold over one end like that before you start ruffling. And then you're just going to start pinching it up the middle. Actually, you can even just bring it toward you. Hear that lovely scratching sound on my table. And then when you get to the end, just fold it under again. There you have, I just love this mesh. And you have your pretty little ruffle. I'm just going to start adding them. And I'm going to do 2 per tie. Let's see how I want to lay this first one. I kind of want to add some length to it. So I'm going to lay it down this way. I'm going to lay it down the long way. So I have it coming out on the end like that to add some length to it. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put my other one right next to it, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put more on top. But I think I'm just going to stay with these colors. I don't think I'm going to use that orange. I don't think I really need to, but I like to always have extra stuff cut just in case. So again, fold your end under like that, just to get your cut end hidden. We don't like cut ends because they tend to fray. Ruffle it up. Just fold that end under. And I'm just going to go ahead and put one right next to it. I might even add 3 per tie. I got to see how full it is when I'm done. So let's see how that is on the end there. You're already adding some length to it by facing those first pieces out that way. And then we're going to put one on top of each one. I'm just tuck that under. Try to get it even on both sides before you put it on, so you have equal amounts. And we're just going to crisscross it. It's going to go right across. If you want to use 2 different colors, you can. You can do an orange and a moss green, or a brown, or you can use the multicolored. Dollar General had this too, which would be really, really pretty. That's Dollar General. This you can't cut with the wood burning tool though, if you like to use the wood burning tool, because it has burlap in it. So, and someone was asking me, and I want to show this. Someone was asking me about this ombre mesh. This isn't the one that's going to be in the Happy Harvest kit, but this is one that's kind of similar. It's a jute mesh from Craft Outlet, and it's an ombre, meaning there's different colors that kind of, blend together. That's really pretty too. I wanted to show that because I told her about that. But that was, I think Linda asked about that. Hey, Sharon. Lots of people here tonight. Woohoo! So again, it's going to crisscross the one next to it. You can actually, like I said, if you wanted to keep the full length of your gutter guard, this would make a nice swag to go over a doorway too, and it would be longer or on top of a mantle. So you can definitely keep the whole 3 feet there. You don't have to cut it in half. But if you want to make a bunch of little, tabletop swags, and, you can get 2 18-inch pieces out of that, out of the one. All right, let me look at this real quick because I want to see if I might want to add another one in the middle. And I think I do, because I kind of see a little bit of a gap here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right ahead now, and I'm going to add another pipe cleaner right in the middle. I think I'm going to put another bundle in the middle because we'll make sure that it's right in the middle here. I don't want any gaps at all. If you have a thicker mesh, like some of the premium meshes are very thick, you might not have to worry about that, but I want to make sure that I have good coverage. So we're going to actually do 3 across. So if you're just watching this video and you're not making it yet, when you add your pipe cleaners, just put another one right in the middle. We're going to have a nice full swag or centerpiece. Like again, you can put this on your tabletop. It doesn't have to be a swag that you hang on your door. I'm just going to stick this right in there. Try not to squish your other pieces down. You kind of want them to be pushing each other up so everything is nice and fluffy. And I don't think I'm even going to have to add 2 to this middle part. I think 1's going to be enough. It definitely is. See that? I just added 1 piece of mesh in the middle, and that just was all I needed to cover up that spot. So we're going to be doing 2 in each of the ties on the outside. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the rest of my pipe cleaners up the middle, and we're going to do 1 in the middle. That's all we're going to need. So let me find where my middle is here. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle, but kind of try to make it in the middle. 1, 2, 3, right here. Okay. I love how these don't slide. I used to drive me crazy when I was making a wreath and you put your pipe cleaner on and it wants to slide all over the wreath form. Look how pretty that mesh is. Isn't that gorgeous? I wish she had had more. I would have bought all she had. No, I don't want to do that yet. I want to finish adding my pipe cleaners first. Let's see, where's my middle? 1, 2, I don't know if that's close enough. Doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. I'm going to need to get more pipe cleaners soon. I like the ones that the Dollar Tree sells, the glittery ones, but I find that when you pull on them a little bit too hard, they tend to break because they're so thin. These fuzzy ones are you can pull on them a little harder. I got these from Hobby Lobby. They have a bunch of different colors in Hobby Lobby. And you know where you can get pipe cleaners in a million different colors too? If you guys never have shopped at Consumer Crafts, check them out. They have fall colors in pipe cleaners. You can get a pack of 100 for like a ridiculously cheap amount. It's like $1.50. And they have all the fall colors, orange, burgundy, moss green, all in one package of 100. So that's a nice place to get pipe cleaners too. I mean, you can't even get a pack of 100 at the Dollar Tree. I think you get like 25 or 30 in a pack for $1. Consumer Crafts. Consumer Crafts also has the smaller wreath forms. So, for example, the flower, the polyburlap flower that we're making tomorrow. Oh, somebody's chatting me. You don't want to make that on a really big wreath form. I think a battery-operated candle would look good in the empty spot in the middle. Absolutely, that's a good idea. Yeah, you could put a battery-operated candle in there. You mean one of the ones that like the LED candles. That's absolutely correct. If you maybe wanted to leave a space empty in the middle, like Marlene just texted me or she messaged me, get one of the LED candles in the container and just stick that right in the middle and have that as a really, nice accent for a table centerpiece if you want to use it for centerpiece. Good idea. I forgot what I was talking about. Totally lost my train of thought. What was I talking about, you guys? Can somebody, I don't remember what I was talking about. I don't remember. Pipe cleaners? Oh, consumer crafts. What's that? The wreath forms. The polyburlap flower that we're doing tomorrow, you're not really going to want to do that on a really big wreath form or it's going to be huge. I'm actually going to be using a 12-inch wreath form from Dollar General, but even a 10-inch wreath form would work, but I don't think you can get those in the store anywhere. But Consumer Craft does have the 10-inch wreath forms if you want to do a flower with that. So that's all I wanted to tell you. That's all I
Christina,
wanted to say. Yeah.
I didn't see the beginning. Did you take like the screen mesh off the back?
You mean the stuff, the screen?
Yeah, did you take that off?
Yeah, I had to take it off. It's
Okay,
right there. It just comes right off.
okay, all
That way
right.
you can get to the holes. Yep.
Okay, thank you. I was late getting in.
That's okay, but you're gonna get the video anyway, honey, so you'll be able to see. Are you making it now too?
I've got one, so I might go get it out.
Yeah, you're gonna get the video. So anything that you missed coming in, you'll be able to see later on. Don't worry. So I'm just crisscrossing. I made a swag last year on a reel form. I think it was a fall swag, and I think I did orange, moss green. I think there was another color, but I can't remember what it was, and it was another fall color. Maybe it was a gold. And it looked really pretty. Whoops, there that goes. Down it goes. Did I put one in the middle over here? There it is. So just one in the middle. Again, if you want to put a candle in there, then don't put one in the middle. But I would think that if you want to put a candle in, you're just going to leave the space right in the middle of it open. Unless you want to put, candles all the way down. I mean, that's up to you. But I'm only going to put one in the middle.
How long was the mesh cut?
That's in the supply list, honey. It's, if you look under the class listing, 15 inches. Any prep at all is going to be in the class listing in the events calendar. 15 inches. And I'm doing 2 in each pipe cleaner on the outside and 1 in the middle, just to fill up that, the little gap that we kind of had in the middle there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Now I don't know if I showed you this, but because I want to sort of make it a little as full as I can, this first piece that I'm putting down on the outside, now remember how we put the first pieces down here going like that? We're going to do that for our first piece all the way around. So lay it out like that, going up the sides, so it's more full. Instead of going parallel to the I was gonna say wreath form, parallel to your gutter guard, go that way with your first one, and then cross it over. That way, it's nice and full. And again, try not to squish your other ruffle down when you add the next one. If you do happen to squish it a little bit, just reach in there and fluff it up. And leave your pipe cleaners out for now because we are going to be adding some ribbon. pipe cleaners that you don't use. We'll just snip those off. Keep looking for my mesh and it rolled on the floor here. There it is. This almost looks like the mesh that I ended up ordering for the Happy Harvest kit. I was so glad I was able to find that. I was so upset because the mesh that I had originally wanted to use, they ended up not having enough. And then I found this other gorgeous mesh and ended up cleaning them out. So somebody wanted to order it and it's all gone. It's just because I have 64 rolls of it coming to my house next week for 31 kits for you guys, if you ordered one, and then one for me, obviously. So I love that mesh. Where'd you get it? Oh, I got it from Craft Outlet. No, it's all gone. I'm sorry, I needed it. I need it for my kits. And my ribbon should be coming probably Tuesday. The signs should be here. The signs are from Jane's Front Door Decor, the Happy Harvest truck signs. If you have never bought from Jane's Front Door Decor, definitely check her out. She's got an Etsy shop. She's got a Facebook page. Her signs are awesome for wreaths, and I'll show you in a second here, because they're very lightweight. And if you've ever tried to put a heavy sign on a wreath, it's a pain because you have to try to get it secure, and then you think you have it in the right spot. Let me show you the sign. It slides when you hang it up and you want to scream. I've had mine since last year, and I was so glad that she had more. This is such a cute little sign. And then we're going to have the truck ribbon with that. So that's coming. I've got 31 of those coming for our kits. I have to get that on the calendar, though. We have to get that scheduled. I've put the Halloween one up. That, honestly, you guys, that's why I've just been so busy. I was excited to be able to offer kits, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of extra work. Now, some of the suppliers that I got the kits from are going to be shipping them right to you, so that's going to save me a little bit of work. Where are we now? It's fray because I don't like that. Did I go in the middle yet? Hold on a second. I only have one on this one. Easy to kind of lose track. All right, I gotta put another one over here. Crisscross that one. I just love this mesh. I have a darker one too. It's more like a Halloween color that I got from the same seller. Is anybody else making theirs too, or is everybody just kind of watching? That's totally fine if you want to watch. I know that.
This is Jamie. I'm making mine. I'm doing it on a placemat not a placemat, a dish mat, a plastic one from Dollar Tree I cut and zip tied together. So I'm gonna
I was just telling everybody at the beginning of the class, the neat things that you can use to make a swag form. I mean, as long as it's got holes in it. That's so neat. That's Jamie. That was Jamie that said that?
Yes.
That's awesome, Jamie. And I love
totally
your skeleton wreath that you made. That was really cool. I saw that picture.
Oh, thank you. It's sold immediately when I put it online.
That's insane. That's so great. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So if you guys heard what Jamie said, she just went to the Dollar Tree and got a couple of plastic placemats, you said, Jamie? Is that what they were?
The dish mat, you know, that you put in the dish, the sink mat.
Yes. With the holes in it. Yeah. Are
Yes.
they rubber?
No, it's plastic. It was kind of tough to cut through with my scissors and snippers, but I did it. I've got one,
How-
two, three, four, 5 holes in it, and I cut it to 15 inches. Like I cut it in half, and then I zip tied 2 pieces together to make it 15 inches.
15 inches long.
Yes.
Okay. And how wide is it?
It is. Oh, let me see. It's so much ruffle on here. It is. It's super wide right now.
Yeah.
It is about 5 inches wide.
But that's awesome. That's a great idea, Jamie. So there you guys go. You can make, even though this only cost a couple of dollars at Lowe's, if you've got a Dollar Tree right there, you can get a couple of dish mats and zip tie those together like Jamie said. But how would you even know that there's a gutter guard under there? Now, come on. Seriously. And if you were to order a rail form, which is what everybody typically used to make a swag, they're not really crazy expensive, but they're like $6, $7, I think, if you ordered it online. All right, here's where I get myself in trouble. I'm chatting and then I forget where I am. What color mesh are you using, Jamie?
Sorry, I had a hard time unmuting myself. Well, I'm using a beige, and then from the Dollar General, I got beige with some foil strips in it. I'm using those 2.
That one?
And it turned out nice. One was, I didn't have enough mesh, and I wanted to do another fall one instead of Christmas. So I used a 12-inch on the beige and 10-inch on the other. And so far, it's looking good.
Is this the one? From Dollar General?
Yes,
Yep.
and then a beige.
That's gonna be gorgeous. I wish I had a whole bunch more of this mesh. I love this mesh. And this is actually the other one I got from the same seller. It's the more like
Christina?
Halloween colors. Yeah?
I got the same one you got.
Which
From my
one?
The one you're using.
You got this?
Yes. From my wholesaler that I told you I found.
Well, hold on there, girlfriend. You gotta get me some stuff then. I'm teasing. You have the same mesh though?
Yes.
Wow. Can you get me some?
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later.
Okay. Shh. Now, where are you, Emily? Are you in Texas?
Yes. In San Antonio.
That's what I thought. You guys all have good stuff in Texas.
We do, don't we?
We do. I love when stuff comes out the way I want it to. I hate when, like I said, I was a little disappointed in my witch hat because I didn't, I just felt like there was too much mesh on it. That's why I want to make another one. I gotta put my fan on here. Get a little warm. I wish Hobby Lobby was open on Sundays. That kind of stinks. I want to go there tomorrow. So all their Christmas is 40% off too, you guys. I know it's kind of early to think about Christmas, but stock up now on stuff you're going to need because believe it or not, the good stuff sells fast. The good ribbon and the signs and all that stuff. Okay, where am I here? I got one here. I'm trying to get it in a position where you guys can see. I keep flipping it around, but I think by this point you kind of got the gist of what we're doing here. So it would probably take you quite a bit longer if you didn't want to cut your gutter guard in half. Uh-oh, I got some frays. Let's just tuck those underneath so we don't see them. Just kind of hide it. Well, my sign's going to go there anyway, so. Okay, where am I here? It's easy to get lost when you start adding all your mesh. Now, this isn't even one roll. I haven't even gone through one roll yet. So I would say maybe a roll and a half is really all this is going to take. So again, one in the middle. I just love ruffles. It's got to be my favorite method. I'm not really a big fan of the poof because I feel like the poof doesn't really cover very well. Although we are going to be doing our ghost wreath, doing the poof, but it's entirely different. It's going to be a new method that we're going to try, using 2 rolls of 21-inch mesh. And I think you're going to like it. What do you think about this, Mimi? You like it? Is Mimi still here? Did she leave? Oh, I don't see her on here anymore. She must have left. You can see as we start to get to the center of the roll, how it kind of wants to curl. That's okay. Let's see, where are we here? I put one more on this side. So pretty. Let me get a drink. Oh, and I wanted to update you guys too that the whoever ordered the cutest apple in the orchard kit, which is this, that's going to be shipping Monday. I didn't think she was going to be able to ship them until September 5th, but I just confirmed with her today that's going out Monday. So I think I had about 15 of you that ordered that. That's coming. I thank you for your patience in waiting for these kits. It just, we ran into a few snags with supplies, and which sometimes happens. I guess now I know for next year, if I'm going to do kits for the fall, to try to put them together a little bit sooner. I mean, it is still August. It's not technically fall yet, but if you're getting ready for craft shows and stuff, a lot of the craft shows start, right at the beginning of September. This is kind of why you want to make sure that you have enough on both sides before you put it on your form. You don't really want to be pulling at your mesh too much once you get it on there. This is our last piece on this roll. I don't think we're even going to be using 1.5, probably like 1 1/4. So it doesn't really take a ton of mesh to make this. Again, if you cut it in half. If you want to make it a little bit longer, you can keep the whole 36 inches. You can cut it down to 22. I mean, you're going to have that, quite a bit of waste of your your gutter guard, it'll be, you have a little bit of waste there, but if you'd like to have a longer swag, I mean, like I said, these things are so cheap. They're $2 at Lowe's or Home Depot. So if you have to cut off some that you don't want and throw it away, it's not the end of the world. If you'd rather have a longer swag, again, a standard rail form, work rail form, most people use to make swags is 22 inches. So. Almost done here. I think I have 5 more pipe cleaners here. You can see how it gets a little bit more challenging as it gets more full because mesh likes to stick to each other, mesh pieces. Make sure though that you, on the ones that you're not going to be putting ribbon on, before you cut them off, before you cut the excess off, make sure you have it twisted enough so when you do snip it off, you're not going to lose your piece of mesh or your pieces of mesh. That's happened to me. I haven't twisted it enough and I go to cut off the excess and my mesh comes off. We got to start all over. Okay, just kind of make sure that it's even on both sides before you put it. This one's sticking out on that side. I'm going to fix it. There we go. Almost done here. What time is it? It's been about an hour, so this does not take very long. You know what? Give me a second. I am so curious to see what Leah sent me. Leah sent me something. I don't know if you know Leah from Flip Flop Mania. Oh, she sent me a link to a live video. Thanks, Leah. I thought it was something good. Leah McIntosh from Flip Flop Mania and Design is one of my good friends, and she was actually an admin when Need to Wreathe first started about a year ago. Actually, it was June of 2017 that I started Need to Wreathe, which if some of you guys don't know is my other group, my free group that I started before the classes with almost 50,000 members. She was an admin with me for a while when we first started, and then she decided that admin life was just too stressful, which it can be. A lot of drama you have to put up with. A lot of grown women just don't know how to behave. So I have 2 other admins that are awesome, though, that they basically run the group for me because I'm just so busy. They catch a lot of stuff that I don't have, that I miss. And I'm very grateful to have them helping me. Just some crazy drama in the wreath groups. Now here we are with our last 3 on the end here. I'm just kind of pushing these out of the way so I can, again, when you're going up the outside, make sure that your piece is going this way, not this way, so you can get as much fullness, make as much fullness as you can. Well, you know what? I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go up this way. So let me take that back. When we're on the end, our piece is going to go this way. So I apologize. I got to take that back because I want the end to come out like that. So I hate mesh that has the foil that comes out. I don't know why it does that. I'm always pulling it out. I'm going to have to stand in a second here. I'm going to stand right now. Time to stand. I'm going to cross this one over. When you get to the end, you're going to have your mesh pieces facing out. And the one you put over it, you're just going to put to the side. You're going to crisscross it. Just like that. Beautiful. There. And you can see how I just fold that end under. Our middle piece doesn't really matter so much which way we make that go, but I think I'm still gonna, yeah, in the end it does. I'm gonna go out with it like that. So it does matter. When you're in the middle, it doesn't really matter, but when you're on the end, get your ruffle, your first ruffle. In fact, I might, on my end piece here, I might put 2 in this middle one. Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, I think I'm going to put 2. Last one. Look how gorgeous that is. I just love that. I really love the way that came out. Now, typically with a wreath, I add ribbon in every tie. Well, that's not necessarily true. Usually I add ribbon in every tie going around the outside. On the inside ring, I don't because of my sign. I don't want to cover my sign. But this is the swag, so the last piece in here. So I'm going to kind of have to see. I don't want to overwhelm it with ribbon. And a lot of times when you have a really pretty colorful mesh like this, I hate to cover it with a ton of ribbon. I mean, there's some wreath makers out there that I have quite a bit of respect for. They make gorgeous wreaths, but sometimes there's so much ribbon that you can't see the mesh, and you have a really pretty colorful mesh like this. You know, I want to be able to see it. I like the way this one ruffle is laying here. Hold on. There. One more piece. And this one's going to go across. It's going to go out. And that's that. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? And look how neat it is on the back. Totally flat. And this thing is so light. I'm going to make like 5 more of these. I love this. You know how great these would sell at a craft fair? Seriously, look at that. Centerpiece, swag, mantle for your mantle. Get a drink. Let's see how long this is now. This is now 25 inches. So we took 25, maybe even 26. So this 18-inch piece that we started with, hold on one second, which is here. This was half of the gutter guard. This 18-inch piece, it doesn't seem like it, but it's 26 inches now. I just measured it. So that added quite a bit to it. Hold on one second for me. Just gonna look at one thing. My phone. I apologize, one second for me. Okay. Now I'm going to see about my sign. What do I want to use for my sign? I had a couple of different choices here. You don't have to put a sign if you don't want to. I saw this one at Marshall's today. And I thought it was really cute. It was only, I think, like $5. And I would put that right in the middle if I wanted to do this as a swag. I'm going to look at it and see. Yeah, I kind of like that. I could use that. Or I had this little small Harvest Blessing, but I think that's going to get lost in there because it's pretty much the same color as the mesh. So I don't want to use that. And then I also have this one that I got at, where did I get this one? At Michael's. This one's a little bit bigger. But I kind of like that one too. Hold this up. I want to show you guys and see what you think. I think it's either going to be this one, this sign, or this sign. You guys tell me which one you like better. What do you think?
The one you have in there right now, that one.
You like this one better? This one's probably a little too big, huh?
I think the black on the first one really makes the whole thing pop, honestly.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the frame here kind of stands out too much.
Yeah. I think the black one. My opinion.
Okay. Let's go with the black one. I do love this sign from Michael's. These were only $5 at Michael's. They were half price, these signs. All right, now, there's a couple of different ways you can hang your sign. If you've seen my classes before, you see how I normally like to do it. If you live in the South, you kind of want to stay away from hot glue because it tends to just want to come off when it gets really hot. Let's try to turn this a little bit. I've seen people take pieces of foam, staple pipe cleaners in. And the reason why you do that is because if you just staple it right to the wood, it might come through the other side. So you can get these larger pieces of like craft foam, I guess they're called. I'm not really sure what the phrase is for them. And they're adhesive on one side, I think, and you can stick them in there and put staple pipe cleaners on. Or what I like to use, and you can get these near the cable ties. Or if they don't have them in your store, you can order them online through Walmart. And they're basically cable tie holders, and they're adhesive. There's an adhesive back on them, and there's little holes. If you can see that, see a little hole? Kind of hard to see in the camera here. But there is a little hole in there you can stick your pipe cleaner through, and I like to use these. Sometimes I put a little bit of extra super glue on before I stick it, because I have had them come off on a couple of rare occasions, even though they do stick pretty well. And I'm just going to put that on the inside of my sign. Put a couple, because this is a small sign. And they stick. So again, I can probably post the link. If you can't find them in Walmart near the zip ties, you can order them online, and they're really cheap. And then all you have to do is take your pipe cleaner and feed it through the little holes. Which this sign is like sort of indented in the back, so maybe I'll go through this way instead. Let's see how it kind of goes through the hole in there. There's holes on both sides, on all four sides. And I just kind of tie it a couple times. Like that. And it's really easy. And because I'm going to be covering, I don't think it really matters. I'm going to be covering the center. I'm just going to kind of tuck these pipe cleaners down. I'm not even going to bother cutting them because I'm going to be covering them with the sign, but I kind of want to tuck them down a little bit so they're out of the way. Now, this may be a little bit challenging because typically when I hang a sign, I feed it through and I tie it to the wreath form. But this isn't a wreath form. So I gotta kind of have to find my holes. Let's get it centered. Make sure that it's in the center here. And then you gotta kind of feed through your mesh. I gotta find a hole. That doesn't sound too nice, does it? Find a hole. But I'll find one. Oh boy, this is not the right shirt to wear. I think what I'm going to do is this. Instead of going around, I'm just, because usually I tie it around the bar of the wreath form, but I don't have a bar, so let me find another hole on this side, and this is what I'm going to do. Make sure it's on. This is a relatively light sign, so when my son sees me picking this up today, he's like, Mom, don't we have enough signs? And I'm like, oh, you never have enough signs. So what I'm going to do is, since I have these pulled through, I'm just going to tie them together. Like I said, typically I would wrap it around the wires of the wreath form, but this isn't a wreath form, so I'm just going to kind of tie it together like that and snip it off. Just like that. And you can kind of take your mesh and pull it up around your sign a little bit. It does squish. If you squish your mesh down a little bit, that's okay. Just pull it up around it. And there's that. There's my little sign. Let me make sure if it is down a little bit farther. Let me hold it up for a second here and look at it. I might have to move it up a little bit. I think I put it down too far, but let me see. No, I'm happy with that. That's all right. It is down a little bit farther, but it's not the end of the world. So now let's add some ribbon. Typically what I do is I cut a bunch of different kinds of ribbon, and then I decide what I want to use once I get it on there, and I want to see how it looks. So what I have, this is actually something, I don't know if this is going to work because this is going to kind of blend in too much. This is a sheer pumpkin ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and that's just going to blend in too much. So that already I'm going to disqualify. I have this, which I got from Hobby Lobby, which is really pretty. These are 13-inch strips. Okay, that's pretty. I actually found some ribbon strips that I had left over from another project, which I'd love to be able to use because that way there's no waste. This is like a plaid. I think that'll be good. Let's see what else I have. I have this pretty leaf ribbon that was left over from another project. Typically, I like to try to use some 2.5-inch and some 1.5-inch. And then I also have 2 different kinds of burlap ribbon, which also came from Dollar General. $2 a roll. Let me grab it here. There's a moss green, and there's an orange. I think I'd probably like to use the moss green because this might just blend into a little bit too much. So let's try that and see how that looks. And again, these came from Dollar General. The moss green and the orange are $2 a roll at Dollar General. So, the only thing you have to be careful with is this burlap ribbon likes to stick to the mesh, and sometimes when it sticks, you pull on it and it frays. So you kind of have to be careful. So what I'm going to do, got to kind of figure out what you want to put with what. I think I'm going to do this with this because that's pretty, like laying on top of each other like that. I've actually seen people take like the cheaper wide ribbon from Dollar Tree and glue a thinner ribbon right in the middle, and it sort of makes like a new ribbon out of it. You have like a new style. So fold it in the middle and pinch it. Just like that. I like to put 2 ribbons per tie. And again, I don't want to go crazy with ribbon, so I'm just going to put some up here. Maybe I'll start closer to my sign. Now, I've told people this before in my classes. When you are adding your ribbon, you might not want to go all the way down to the bottom of the pipe cleaner, because then you're going to end up losing half of your ribbon, meaning you're not really going to be able to see it. So I like to kind of go halfway down my pipe cleaner, and then I tie it. That way your ribbon is still going to kind of lay on the top. If that makes sense, especially when you have a really full wreath or swag with really fluffy ruffles. So again, if you go all the way down to the bottom of your pipe cleaner, you're not going to be able to see your ribbon. So try to go like halfway down and then tie it. So I like to kind of go around my sign like that with my first piece. Usually if I'm doing a wreath, I go around the outside of the wreath first, but this isn't a wreath, this is swag, so we're going to go do a little bit differently. And I usually separate my ribbon, but I like the way this plaid looks on top of the moss green, so I'm going to kind of keep it like that, like laying on top of it like that. And I'm going to get another piece, and I'm going to do this. Typically I don't dovetail these pieces for my little bow ties, but I have these already cut. I just kind of overlap the ends and pinch it in the middle, like that. And you can put that right on top. You don't need to make a bow, unless you want to, of course. Now this orange pipe cleaner kind of blends in, so you could sort of just kind of curl it around like that. Tuck it around. You don't necessarily have to cut it off. Just kind of tuck it down a little bit. So you can keep that right there in the middle, and it's fine. Just like that. There's our first piece. Let's see what we want to do here. So I don't think that's going to go with that. It's not really going to go with that. So I think what I'm going to do, maybe I will use this. I also have some of that, but that's going to blend in too much. This is actually a little bit lighter, so I think that might work. So I'm not going to use the leaves. I'm going to do this on top of this. And again, I like the way that looks on top of it, so we're going to keep it like that instead of separating it. So we're going to do that. We'll put this over here. Remember, we're going to add some pumpkins and stuff too, and some other fun little things. So maybe I should plug my glue gun in. Oh, I love that pumpkin ribbon. That came from Hobby Lobby. Let me plug my glue gun in here. You guys are awful quiet tonight. Okay, and do the same thing over here. Just make a little bow tie. I think I want to turn this piece though. I don't think I want it going in the same direction as the other one, if that makes sense. Hold on, I'll show you. No, I think that's right. I was going to try to turn it, but turn it a little bit so it's not going exactly in the same direction as that one, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. It won't look right. There's that. Now let's see. I probably could use this leaf ribbon, but I'm just going to have to use it, go down with it a little bit farther. I also have this. Maybe I could put this with that. And if I keep it laid on top of the leaf like that, because it's very close in color. If I put this down here somewhere. See how that looks. That's the thing, when you have a really full wreath or swag, it's kind of difficult to get your ribbon to lay the way you want it to. I'm going to cut this piece off here. I don't need this extra pipe cleaner. It's just getting in my way. If you want to put a bow on, feel free to put a bow. I don't like to put bows on everything I make. We're going to be adding pumpkins and whatnot too, so I kind of like that. I like those ribbons together. Let's see. I don't have a lot of that leaf ribbon, so I think I'm going to use one of these to make my bow tie. And it's just a cute, fun little way to add a little bow without having to make a huge bow, if that makes sense. Especially if you don't like to make bows or you're not good at it.
Christina, I can make a bow with a pro bow, but I cannot do that.
Do this?
Yes.
Really?
Really?
It's so easy.
Well, it looks easy, but it doesn't look right when I do it.
What doesn't look right? The little bow that you put in the middle?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing wrong because I've watched you and I just can't do it.
You got to make sure your ends are folded. You got to make sure they're folded over each other, or it's not gonna stay together. Do you know what I mean? Let me do it again. I should have used this ribbon. Look how pretty this ribbon is. I got that from Michael's. Isn't that gorgeous? I should have used that one. That one's really pretty. Somebody's chatting me here. Let's see. Good night, Cindy. Cindy's saying goodbye. Good night. All right, let's see. think I want to do the same leaf ribbon with the gold. I like the way that looks together. I'm going to put another one of those in. Not sure. I have quite a few pieces of this gold already. These again are from another project, so hang on to that ribbon. I've got a couple of shoe boxes of ribbon strips that, you know, I have left over, and, you know, I've reached in there many times and used them for other projects. Excuse me. Let's see, where do I want to put this? I'll put this up here.
I'm thought about taking all the odds and ends of the mesh and the ribbon and just make a wreath and see what it looks like.
There you go. Why not? Just experiment. Have fun. That's what it's all about.
Just no pattern whatsoever.
Right. I bet you it would be gorgeous.
It probably will.
And then how proud of yourself will you be? This ribbon is like sliding. Hold on. This leaf ribbon is actually Dollar Tree ribbon. Sometimes it's kind of hard to shape Dollar Tree ribbon. It kind of wants to do its own thing because it's kind of thin. I've gotten some good quality ribbon at Dollar Tree, though. I won't lie. But this is kind of wanting to do its own thing. I don't think I need this pipe thing over here. Leave that for a minute. This just needs to be tightened. I think it's just not in there tight enough. Hold on. There. Pieces of metallic are coming out. There we go. So again, any pipe cleaners that you don't use, just make sure that they're twisted around enough before you cut them off. You don't want your mesh coming out. I'm going to cut that one off as a matter of fact. It's annoying me. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just trying to get this leaf ribbon to lay the way I want it to, and it's not wanting to cooperate. There. Good enough. You can drive yourself crazy trying to aim for perfection. Now watch me. Typically, Emily, when I do my bow tie, I don't do it with a dovetailed piece. Okay, but these were already cut, so I'm going to use it. So just go ahead and fold it. Make sure that your ends, you have enough ends covering each other, so when you pinch it, it doesn't come out. Just fold it down so it's flat and pinch it in the middle. Just like that. And then tie it into your pipe cleaner. Or if you don't like it, make your Pro Bow. You know, use your Pro Bow. I've got a Pro Bow sitting right here under my desk, but for some reason I just have like this block. I just can't get it out and use it. I don't know why. You know what I think it is, and I'll be honest with you guys. It seems like, I feel like everybody uses a Pro Bow. You see wreaths everywhere with these bows, and they all look the same. They all have these, you know, the terry bow is gorgeous, but I feel like so many people make terry bows that's all you see in wreaths. And I just feel like it makes all the wreaths look the same. I know that kind of sounds dumb, but I like to do stuff different. I don't like to be like everybody else, you know what I mean? So I feel like everybody else is putting terry bows on their wreaths. I don't really want to put them on mine, but I know they're pretty, and I know I'm being silly. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I kind of feel like Forrest Gump when I
My Provo bows probably look different from everybody else's too.
yours. Did you ever see that scene from what do you call it? From what the heck am I trying to say? Forrest Gump, and he's talking about his mom passing away, and he's like, and that's all I have to say about that, because he doesn't want to talk about it, you know, because he misses his mama. So that's why I said that. I know I'm dumb. Okay, I want more of this pumpkin ribbon because I like it. So we're going to put some more of this in. And that's all I have to say about that. I know I'm an idiot. It's tired. I'm tired. It's past my bedtime. My doggy gets me up at 5 o'clock every morning, 5:30. And, you know, sad to say, she's an old lady. She's going to be 15 in a few months. And we brought her to the vet yesterday. And they feel like she's getting a form of puppy Alzheimer's. I say puppy, and she's 15. Yeah, she's tiny. She's still like a puppy. It's called canine cognitive disorder, and a lot of it may be due to the fact that she's got Cushing's disease. If any of you aren't familiar with Cushing's disease in dogs, it's not a fun condition. It's not fatal in and of itself, but it could cause other. Let me pull this around so you can see what I'm doing. Here goes my ribbon. It can cause other conditions, health conditions, but she wanders at night. She's fine during the day, but she gets very, very restless at night, and she just paces and she wanders and she bumps into things because she's blind. So my vet prescribed a sedative for her, sort of like a doggy Xanax, I guess. And, you know, I was real nervous about giving it to her, but she's sleeping like a baby right now. And otherwise she'd be wandering and pacing. And you know, we did it more for her because we felt like she was anxious too. And we want her to be comfortable. I mean, everybody wants their animals to be comfortable in their later years. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of this pumpkin ribbon because it's so cute. A little bit on the side here. And I think over here, I'm going to do another one of these setups, and then we're going to be done with ribbon. I don't want to do too much ribbon. So I have this, and I have my plaid, which is all over the floor now, because I knocked it over, and we're losing people. Everybody's falling asleep. This is why we need to have daytime classes. We haven't lost too many people. Sharon's here, Vanya's here, Mimi's back, Marlene, Lisa, Jamie, Jackie, Emily, Debbie. You're still hanging on. I have to cut my poly burlap tomorrow too for our flower. We're gonna do one more piece of ribbon, then we're gonna add some other stuff. I hope I have a pipe cleaner over here. Yes, I do. I love this plaid ribbon. I think I got this from Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure I did. It's kind of glittery. I gotta cut this pipe cleaner off because I don't need it. It's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. Again, you know, this mesh is so gorgeous. I don't want to add too much ribbon because I don't want to cover this gorgeous mesh. Can't even speak. One more bow tie. Watch me, Emily. Again, it's easier to do when the ends aren't dovetailed, but I've already got these cut. And typically, I cut my bow tie pieces a couple inches longer So my ribbon's at 15, or excuse me, 13. I would have cut this normally at 14 or 15, but I had these pieces, so I like to use what I have. And stick it in and tie it. And I'm going to cut this off. And I think that's good for ribbon. So I don't want to go too crazy with ribbon, but I think that's just enough. Now let's add some other little thingies. I really want to use these. I thought these were the cutest things in the world. And they have little clips on them. But I don't know if I want to use those. I'm not quite sure. Let me see how that'll work. Where's my scissors so I can get these price tag off here. I won't even have to use any hot glue. $1. How can you go wrong for $1? I should have grabbed the whole box. I was going to. Let's see if I can clip it instead of gluing it. Look at that. I'm so excited. All I had to do was clip it. No glue. I know. I'm
That
so
is
dumb.
so
Isn't that cute?
Very cute.
Look
I
at
love
that.
it.
I just clipped it on, Mimi. No glue or anything. No mess.
And we can see the
I
mess.
would go back and get the whole box. Because they had a whole box of these, and they're so cute. Dollar General, you guys. I love that. Where can we put another one here? Let's see. I still got the little tag on it. Yay! That just makes me so excited that I can clip that on and not have to worry about any glue. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. You don't want to see my messy room here. I got one more. I might as well use it. These are the 3 colors they had. Let's see. I'll just put one over here. Well, you know what? I got a pipe cleaner here I have to cut off. I really love the way this came out, you guys. I'm so happy. And I've got enough to make 3 more. You can do Christmas, you can do Halloween. It takes literally, how much mesh did we use? A roll and a quarter, maybe? Not a lot of mesh at all. Put this one over here. It just clips right on. No glue, no fuss, no muss. And it lays right on there. Pretty. All right, we're almost done to the home stretch here, you guys. It's 1/4 of. Maybe I won't even put that in. It's kind of too close to the other one. Maybe I'll put
That
it.
looks really nice, Christina.
Oh, thank you, Cindy. That's not Cindy. That's Jamie. Sorry.
That's
I
okay.
corrected myself pretty quickly, though.
I've just been watching since I got all my mesh on because I have not even picked out my ribbons yet.
You know what? Like I do, I cut a whole bunch and then you just play with it. You know, because a lot of times if you sit there and you hold up, if you get ribbon and you hold it up against your mesh, you can't really tell. You can't tell until you get it on there. And, you know, 13 inches is really a standard length to cut for anything. So if you end up not using it for this, you'll use it for something else. I think I'm going to save this one. I don't think it's going to look right if I put 3 in here. So I'm going to save this one because I'll be putting 2 too close to each other. So I'm going to save it. Do you know what I mean by that, though, Jamie?
Pardon me?
You know what I mean by that with the ribbon?
Yeah, well, sometimes it depends on what type of mesh and stuff, you know, because a lot of people like to see the mesh and not the ribbon. So I cut anywhere between 10 and 13 inches.
Right, right. Now, there is a wreath maker out there. If you guys have ever heard of Dottie Dot's Bubbly Creations. Have you ever heard of her before?
No.
Dorothy Barksdale. She makes gorgeous wreaths, and she only cuts her ribbon 7 to 8 inches. And I want you to go look her up. Dottie Dot's Bubbly Creations. It's the cutest name in the world. But if you look at her wreaths, her ribbons like barely stick out. They're not long like this. They kind of just peek up out over the mesh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really nice the way she does that. And it's just a different way to do mesh. You know, you don't, like everybody does 13, 14 inches. You know, she just does hers a little bit differently. And,
Well, I'm going to have to check it out.
yeah. I don't know who was asking me one time how she did that. Somebody messaged me and said, you know how she does her ribbons here? And I said, honestly, I think she just cuts them shorter. So, you know, again, she uses gorgeous mesh. Why isn't my glue gun on? You know why it's not plugged in? That's why. Yeah, that's it. So look her up. Dottie Dot's Bubbly Creations. These I actually got from the Dollar Tree too. These little pumpkins.
Christina,
Wiggly pumpkins. Yeah?
were you talking about she only cuts her mesh at 7 or 8 inches?
No, her ribbons.
Ribbons. Okay, thanks.
Yep. But she's got a very distinctive look to her wreaths because of the way she cuts her ribbon. It's very nice to have longer ribbon like this. I like this, but I think the way she does hers too, again, just gives it a different look.
Christine, I'm going to have to get going for the night because I'm starting to fall asleep while I'm not making a wreath. But
I'm almost done anyway. I'm just waiting for my glue gun to heat up so I can add a couple of these pumpkins.
okay, I just have one question. With this type of base, what do you put on it to hang it?
You just kind of have to, you know, feed a piece of wire or a pipe cleaner through one of the holes in the back. That's all. You got a ton of holes, you know.
Okay.
That's it. And it's a very lightweight, so.
It is very light.
It is. So go to sleep, Jamie. I promise I will not make you wait forever for the video.
Oh, that's okay. All right, thank you. Very nice.
All right, honey. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Good night. So I'm just kind of sticking a few pumpkins in here. I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up. Again, and I left the leaves on. Again, those came from the Dollar Tree. I kind of left the leaves on. Let me see what else I might want to put in here. And then we're going to kind of call it a night. You guys are probably getting tired. I have some of this stuff too that I got from Michael's. These pip berries. I can kind of stick a few in here and there, just to kind of give it some different textures. Just have fun with it, you know? I mean, again, don't go too crazy. These are just a few berries I can kind of stick in there like that. I use these on my my ribbon wreath, my ruffle wreath. I put a few of these in here too. These came from, I believe, Michael's. I got quite a few neat things at Michael's the other day. They had some really good sales at Michael's. I want to kind of make it so it's, where do I want to put these? Put some over there. I kind of want to put some over here, but I don't want them to get covered by anything else. And I'm not gluing them in yet because I'm still waiting for my glue gun to heat up here.
Christina,
Yeah.
how long has it been since your little dog Sadie was diagnosed with Cushing's disease?
My dog Sammy?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, I got her name wrong.
That's okay. I got to turn the volume up because I didn't hear your question. Hold on one second for me. What was the question?
How long has it been since he was diagnosed with Cushing's disease?
It's a she.
Oh,
and
okay.
That's okay. She was actually, it's kind of a long story. She had to have surgery to remove a growth on her tail a couple of years ago. And, you know, obviously they have to do blood work before, you know, a human has surgery or even a dog has surgery, that you have to have blood work. And that's when they found that her liver enzymes were very high. And that's an indicator of possible Cushing's. Now, this was, I want to say, let me think here, like in the fall of 2016 or in the spring of 2016. And the vet at that time, had warned us, her liver enzymes are pretty high. It could be Cushing's disease, but he didn't say, get her tested, because it could be problematic. Cushing's disease, again, in and of itself is not fatal, but it could, cause other complications. He never said anything like that. He said, oh, it could be Cushing's disease. And then he let it go. And that made us feel like it really wasn't a big deal. We didn't know anything about it. And then about a year later, she started having accidents all over the house. And she'd never done that. I mean, ever. And so we brought her to the vet, and they did the testing and found out that she was diabetic. And then they did the test for Cushing's, and she had Cushing's disease too. And unfortunately, we feel because of the fact that she probably had Cushing's for a while, and we didn't know that it caused the diabetes. Because what Cushing's disease does is it tells the body to produce more glucose, more sugar. And it really angered us, because if we had known the dangers of Cushing's disease, we would have had her tested and really got a firm diagnosis, and we could have started treatment earlier, and she may not have gotten diabetes. So that's the story. But I think I'm going to call it a day. I don't really want to add too much. I'm going to glue my little pumpkins, and I added some little berries here and there. I have a piece of pipe cleaner here I want to cut off. So go around and cut off all your extra pipe cleaners that you're not going to need, or tuck them in, or whatever. But just have fun with this. Again, you can do any theme. You can do Christmas, Halloween, whatever, Easter. Pick up a bunch of these forms. They're awesome, and they're so easy to work with. But I'm going to let you guys go, because I'm sure you're all falling asleep. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these extra things in that I just put in. And I'll take a picture, and I'll post it for everybody to see. All right, you guys? Thanks for joining me. Thank you so much. Kathy, I hope you enjoyed class. Is Kathy still here, or did she leave? She left. Whoever is here as a first timer, I hope you enjoyed your first class. And I hope who's been here before, you've enjoyed your class too.
Yes, thank you.
Somebody's really pretty.
Somebody's chatting me here. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Marlene. We're going to figure out, oh, that's right. You don't have a microphone on that one. Use your phone or something next time, honey. That way you can use your microphone. All right, you guys, happy Saturday night, and we'll see you tomorrow if you're going to be in the Poly Burlap Daisy class. All righty?
Good night, Christina.
Good night, Miss Emily. Good night, Jackie, Sharon,
Good night.
Danya, Sharon.
Good night,
Marlene.
Christina. Pretty. Turned out very pretty.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.